Well, if it isn't a nasty, yucky, windy, rainy day out there, what a day to start baking for the fall. Pan de Muertos, eh? But that isn't today's episode. That was last season I did that one. And, you know, if you want to see that one again, go ahead. It's like watching a repeat, you know? But I did make the Pan de Muertos today. But I'm going to make something else today. This is Migueltio, the North Country Latino. We're live here on the air. And we're going to make, first off, a dessert made out of my favorite fruit of all the world, mangoes. And this is about, couple, 2-3 pounds of mango from my beautiful friend down there, Lily, in Puerto Rico. And that goes in one bowl. And over here in another bowl, I'm going to take about a cup of flour. And 2 cups of sugar. Of course, you know me. Got to use the pure cane stuff. At least you can find this stuff better than it used to be. 2 cups worth. This is a sweet mango bake, by the way. It's very easy, very quick. Not a lot of things in it. And in that you're going to mix, look at this, I got this beautiful pan of toasted almonds. You're going to mix that in with the sugar. And also about a tablespoon and a half of cinnamon. And there you go in the bowl. Mix that all together so that it's well distributed. You know the drill. Get all those dry ingredients so they're mixed well. Add to it an egg. You know me. My favorite phonies. It's about a 1/4 cup makes 1 egg. Put that in with the mix also. And then mix it together again so the egg's distributed. Till it makes crumbs. It's going to be like a little crumbly bake. Now you go over to your mango. Isn't this beautiful pulp? Straight from Boricua. Going to chop it up into little pieces. So it's like little squares, cubes, as best you can. You know, what mango is a total cube, you know? Beautiful, juicy, succulent pulp. And then take about 2 tablespoons. This time though, instead of more sugar, I'm going to use a little of my agave nectar because I've got enough sugar on the other side of it. Just want to add some of this to it instead this time. Makes it a little better. So you stir all that together, and it makes for a sweet mixture. Now, take a baking pan, okay? And you're going to put the mango mixture right in the bottom. The good thing about mangoes, I like when I'm making with them, is they're not overly runny. so they don't get away from it too much. Distribute that amongst the pan. Now, you're going to put the crumbs over all of that. Just kind of pour them on so it makes a crust. Okay, and yes, you got a big mound in the middle, so batten it down with a spatula or something to, again, distribute it. And here in the microwave, I melted a little butter. Of course, I use light margarine. And the recipe calls for a whole stick, but I use half a stick. I found, thanks to an awesome dietitian that came and spoke to the faculty at the Catholic school I was at in Florence, South Carolina, that you can use half in any consistency whatsoever of whatever is called for butter. Cut it in half. So if you're using tablespoons, use teaspoons. If you're using a cup, use half a cup. Okay? Using a stick, use half a stick. And it will do just the same. So you spread this over. Okay? That's going to make a beautiful bake. More or less, this is just going to go into the oven for 375 for half an hour. So while that's cooking, then I'm going to make dinner. So there that goes. And the timer's set. Half an hour. And we'll be back making dinner. Alright, well anyway, since it's the midnight hour of Hispanic Heritage Month, we're going to make a midnight sandwich known as the Medianoche. I've learned some interesting things about the Medianoche. Some people say that they're Cuban, some people say that they're Dominican. Just like the Cuban sandwich itself, there's no real set ingredients. I mean, you see it's in this recipe book or that recipe book. Anything has different ingredients in it and even different kinds of bread you put on the Medianoche. Well, today we're going to start off with making my own mayonnaise, because that is the difference in this kind of sandwich compared to the Cuban, is the spread. This is Catalina Alicia, my one daughter who wants to be on the air today. She wants to help me here. So basically what you're going to do, okay, we're going to take 2 eggs worth and come over here to the blender. Let's put that right in the blender. Let's pour it right in. You got it. Okay. And anyways, look at this. Okay, you're going to take a good teaspoon of garlic cloves, stick that right in the blender. Everything I give you, you're going to put right in the blender here. It's going to be a quick mayonnaise, okay? And then we're going to take some hot sauce. You can use Frank's, or you can use Texas Pete, any of your ordinary garden variety hot sauces. And we're going to take about half a teaspoon. So let me do this really carefully here. Put that right in the blender. There you go. And we got over here. Some olive oil.
Yep.
Good olive oil.
That's
Cup
what
of it.
I was supposed to use.
You got it. You got it. And Catalina's happy because she made intermediate orchestra today in her audition this morning. There you go, right in the blender. Okay, and a teaspoon of wine vinegar. Right there. That's where that's going. Where do you think it's going, Catalina?
In the blender.
You got it. Come here. Pour that in. Right in the blender. There we go. And this is going to be our mayonnaise. Instead of using some 10 billion, trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, septillion grams of fat mayonnaise, why not make your own? Turn it on. Blend it up good.
The blender's going on.
There you go. And this goes into the Medianoche. Alright, now for the bread, I'm going to add another twist to it. We're going to use some whole wheat bolillos. So let's give it a little Mexican taste. Bolillos, those awesome dinner rolls that every Mexican restaurant I went in Mexico City, Puerto Vallarta, would put on the table the minute you'd go in. Okay, so we start with some yellow mustard on one side of the bolillos. Alright, so Katie is putting ham on each one. Beautiful. Look at those. Yeah, keep going. And then we got some roast pork over there. There you go. That's right, one on each. You got it. Comes out evenly. Beautiful. Yep, one for that one for that one. Then we got some Swiss cheese. You can actually find lower fat Swiss cheese these days, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it. And you know, sometimes you got to cut these things in half so we can spread them out across the long bread. Beautiful. And then we're going to add some pickle chips. A couple of pickle chips each one. I like these bread and butter pickles. Sweeter. Okay. So you add one of those to each one.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is dip into the blender and spread some of this awesome mayonnaise on the other side. And that's what distinguishes the Medianoche. Now, I've seen recipes with egg buns and all these things. When I went to a place in Buffalo called the Tropical Cafe, or the Tropical Bakery, sorry, they had it on sub rolls just like your Cubanos. On, you know, your long flat rolls. So really, I think these sandwiches, the Cubano, the Medianoche, have all kinds of variations that you can do where nobody's going to come along and sue you. You know what I'm saying? Makes you wonder, you know, between the Cubano and the Medianoche with the Cuban and Dominican, as relations in Cuba and Dominican Republic were historically, like Castro and Trujillo got together and argued over, you know, whose lineage the sandwich really came from. Somehow, well, I don't know. They probably had more important things to do. Well, anyways, we're going to close up the bread, and unlike the Cuban that goes on the stovetop, we're going to close it up and put it on a pan. It's going to get baked, baby. So Catalina is helping me close up the sandwiches, put them on the pan, and they're going to bake in the oven. Totally baked.
Yummy.
You got it. And that's going to go in for about, 15 minutes. Well, here's the sandwiches Medianoches. That cheese has melted beautifully. And here's our Mejunje de mango y almendras and pan de muertos. This is Migueltio, the North Country Latino, saying the wind is blowing and it's chilly outside. Catalina says hi. She's glad to be on this episode. Can't guarantee for every episode, but what can I tell you? It's time to eat, folks. Enjoy. I hope you had a beautiful end of Hispanic Heritage Month. What a great way to round it out. Making some beautiful foods.